Who loves a bit of retro? I do. Welcome back to Scotty's Movies, and yeah, this is going to be the first episode in a new series uh, where I basically watch some retro TV. Yeah, I'm going to be watching some classic TV from back in the day. Sometimes it might be 60s, sometimes it might be 70s. Um, it could be live action, could be animated. But today I'm going to be starting off with two 80s classic shows and two shows from the 90s as well. One of which is a first time watch for me. So yeah, I'm just going to get started. So first up, I'm going to be watching a classic episode of the A-Team. I've got the box set here for the complete series. This A-Team episode I watched was from 1984, I believe. It was season 3, episode 10, and it was called The Sheriffs of Rivertown. Okay, so the basic plot of this episode was involving a company that were building a dam in South America, and they hired the A-Team to act as the sheriffs of the local town, obviously the sheriffs of Rivertown, when the sort of workers and the previous sheriffs had sort of mysteriously disappeared. What was this episode like? Was it any good? I thought this was a great episode, classic A-Team episode for me. There's a great scene with the boys where they're trying to get obviously BA to go on a plane, and if you've ever watched the A-Team, you know what happens there. You know he doesn't want to go on a plane, and they have to basically drug him. But it was a bit of a little twist on what happened. It was quite amusing. Also in this episode we had the great Robert Davi, who I know from License to Kill, and he was probably a villain in every 80s show at some point or another. But this is obviously, I don't know if he did more than one appearance in the A-Team, but this is certainly one of them. He was in this episode as a villain. We got to see the Corvette, Neil Face's Corvette, which is always nice to see. And we got a bit of classic Murdoch when he was sort of loving being a sheriff. I've seen better episodes with Murdoch, but he still had saying in it. There was quite a lot of funny lines in this as well. But overall it was a good fun episode. I can't really complain. I just want to say as well, I'm picking these episodes pretty much at random. I've seen them all back in the day, especially when it comes to the A-Team. This was a solid 8 out of 10 for me. It was a really good episode of the A-Team. So yeah, I enjoyed that one. Next up, I decided to watch an episode of Knight Rider, starring the Hoff, David Hasselhoff. If you've ever seen Knight Rider back in the day, you'll know what this was like. Basically, had the Hoffman starred as Michael Knight with his car kit. So I've not got the complete series of this. I've just got this. I've got a couple of these single DVDs. This is the best of the Knight Rider, and I think I've got another one. But I watched an episode from 1984 again, season 2, episode 20, I believe it is, and it's called The Good Night's Work. So yeah, this episode sees a guy by the name of Cameron Zachary, who's played by John Vernon. I'll put a picture of him here. I recognise that guy. I've seen him in loads of films, and he's just, I don't know, he's got a familiar face. So you comment down below if you recognise this guy. He was the bad guy, and he basically 3 years earlier he'd ordered the death of Michael Knight's previous identity when he was called Michael Long, basically he finds out that Michael is still alive, as Michael Knight, and yeah, and he sets out to basically get rid of him, and once and for all, and he also wants to get his hands on Kit. So yeah, a bit like the A-Team episode. Yeah, this is a classic Knight Rider episode. I kind of remember growing up, really. We get to see Michael using the old ejector seat in Kit to get to a roof, and there is a pretty daft scene where he jumps from the roof and lands back in the Kit straight through the sunroof, when he clearly would have broke his legs probably with the distance, if not killed himself, but we won't go into that. Yeah, you also get to see Kit using the old turbo boost to jump from a roof straight into the room of an apartment building. This little scene, that picture there. And it's a good fight at the end between Michael and the villain. Yeah, he's battling with swords, strangely. Yeah, and there's some amusing scenes with Kit and a dodgy car salesman, and also a mouthy teddy bear. Yeah, I'm not going to go into any more details on that, but yeah, it was quite entertaining. But yeah, overall, yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'll give this one 7 out of 10. So that is Knight Rider. So yeah, next up, we're going to go to a series. We're going to skip to the 90s now. Skip to a series from 1995, which is a first time watch for me, and it is Xena, Warrior Princess. Yeah, I've got this really cool box set, the Ultimate Collection. I believe there's 6 series of this. You're thinking, why have you got this box set if you've never seen it? I did actually get this in a free job lot not too long ago, hopefully 6 months ago now. And although it trades in well for CX, it was just so cool, and I just didn't want to sort of give it up. So you got like 6 seasons there. Yeah, and I just thought, one day I'll get around to watching it, and yeah, today was that day. So yeah, I watched the pilot episode of Xena Warrior Princess. It was just called Sins of the Past. I don't know why I've never sat down and watched this in the 90s, really. I don't. It was on Sky, I think. I did have Sky back in the day, but I think I was probably just in a pub at the time, and yeah, I just never watched it. But yeah, so I believe Xena actually started in the show Hercules, and then and then basically Xena is kind of a spin-off show from that. I've never seen Hercules before either. I'm familiar with it. But yeah, this stars obviously Lucy Lawless as Xena, and yeah, this was a great fun show. It's obviously like a set in a fantasy world, and there was a scene in there with a Cyclops, which Xena had previously blinded, so that was quite fun. And yeah, there's basically lots of sword play, and generally just Xena kicks a lot of ass, basically. Lots of fighting in it, and lots of battles with soldiers, and there's a good fight with Xena and a former ally of hers called Draco at the end. And yeah, this was a hell of a lot of fun, and it just made me wonder why why I've not seen it sooner. It's a bit cheesy, but it's just great fun. It's just great 90s fun, and yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching this. Or Xena, even if I'm like 30 years late to the party. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll give Xena Warrior Princess 8 out of 10, or at least this episode. Yeah, so finally, I watched another show from the 90s. Now, this is a show I have seen all of the episodes, and it is Sliders. Yeah, this is actually a German Blu-ray. You can't get a complete Blu-ray in the UK. It's a pretty good set, actually. It's like a book edition. Obviously all this is in German. You got like 4 discs and 5. No, is it 4 discs or 5 discs? Oh, it's 4 discs, but you got 5 seasons. But yeah, the Sliders. If you aren't familiar with Sliders, so it stars Jerry O'Connell as Quinn, and also John Rhys Davis, who you may know from as Salah from Indiana Jones. He's the Professor Arturo. Jerry O'Connell also was in he was in Stand By Me when he was younger, but you see him quite a lot of films over the years. And yeah, him alongside a couple of others basically are a group that travel to parallel universes trying to find a way home. And he used like basically a little timer device where the slide between universes. And they jump from sort of one San Francisco. It's always in San Francisco, and they jump from one San Francisco to the next. And obviously, like I say, it's parallel universe, so no universe is the same. And yeah, with this series, I watched season 2, episode 5, which was called El Cid. And this episode basically was about them turning up in a San Francisco that had been turned into maximum security prison. Yeah, obviously when you arrive, you haven't got a clue what's going on. It could be a universe like it's a prison. It could be a universe where there's no men, or it could be a universe where all the women have beards. Or so it could be anything really. But yeah, this one it was a prison, and any hope of them keeping their head down until it's time to do the next slide, which generally is like it could be a couple of minutes, could be a few hours, it could be a few days, and when the timer sort of goes off, it's like that's when it's time to leave to the next one. And yeah, they're also trying to keep the head down while waiting for the next slide window is proving a bit tricky on this episode because they've got a guy called Sid with them who sort of tags along from the previous world, him and his girlfriend, and it wasn't until afterwards that I realised. But yeah, Sid, there's a picture of him here, was played by Jeffrey D. Morgan, who was obviously like Negan in The Walking Dead. He's in lots of films. But yeah, it was obviously a young Jeffrey D. Morgan. So it was great to see. He was really good. And yeah, and he's basically a criminal, and all he wants to do is rob someone. So in a world that it's a maximum security prison, it's not the best. And it was a good episode. So they're worried about missing the next slide, especially when the sort of security or police there take the timer from them, stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty standard good episode of Sliders. Really, it was a 7 out of 10 for me. If you've never seen Sliders, I do highly recommend checking it out. You can pick up DVDs pretty cheap, but it's a great fun show. And yeah, that's all I've got to say about that really. But yeah, so that's the 4 retro shows I watched for this episode. Yeah, comment down below. Obviously, if you've all seen all these shows, I'm pretty sure most people out there have probably seen the A-Team and definitely Knight Rider. But comment down below if you've not seen Xena like me, if you kind of pass you by. And yeah, and so basically what your favourite characters are in these shows, and just your memories of these shows basically. And yeah, and that is it for this episode. So yeah, next time I'm going to be I say doing some more retro TV. It could be from the 60s, could be from the 70s, could be animated, could be some more 80s or 90s. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so comment down below. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Keep it retro, guys.